Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we'll be talking about the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo UX8402. Now as the name indicates, it's a dual screen laptop. So we have seen the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo over the years. In fact, last year also we had reviewed this model. Now over a period of time, Asus has made changes to the design, the performance, and also a lot of additional features have been added. Now we have the 2022 version of this laptop, the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo UX8402. Now this comes with the Core i9-12900H processor, up to 32GB RAM, 1TB SSD, and a dual screen. This is an OLED display, and it is a 120Hz refresh rate. This is the first time we are seeing a 120Hz OLED display. Now we have seen the regular Quad HD resolution displays, but this is the first time we are seeing an OLED 120Hz panel on a laptop. So that's again one of the first laptops to feature that, and you get this second 12.5 inches display. So how good is the laptop for this price segment? It's actually a creator's laptop. So if you are a creator, this will help you get better with respect to productivity with the dual displays. So we'll talk about all those things in our video. So we have been using this laptop for more than a week now, and here are our impressions of the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo UX8402. So before getting started, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. So first of all, we'll talk about the design. Now as you can see, design is one of the strong points of this device, because you have a dual display here. This is a 14.5 inches display, and then you get a 12.5 inches secondary display. Now the important thing about this display is that you have to make the keyboard design a bit more compact, and the trackpad is laid to the side. And one of the changes to this design this year has to be this angle. Now the angle of the secondary display has been increased. Now it's 12 degrees incline, and as a result what it does is it gives a better angle to the secondary display, and also the ventilation of the laptop has also been increased, because you can see here there is enough space here, so that means the ventilation has been increased. So let's see how the material quality and fit and finish looks like. So this is the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo UX8402, and this is you can see here the bezels of the primary display is very minimal here, and you can see that even bottom bezels are also extremely minimal. And this is a secondary display, and you can see this is raised, and this is a matte finish, so that means you won't get the glare from the display, and you have the completely neatly arranged keyboard and the trackpad. You have these physical buttons for trackpad. Now if you look at the back panel, this is made of magnesium alloy, and you have these concentric circles which you generally see on all the Asus laptops. Now you have the new logo of Asus here. Now you can see, if you see the side panel, I'll just open it and show you how the mechanism works. So you can see here it can go up to this angle, and you can see this is the 12-degree tilt for the secondary display, and this helps in better cooling. You can see here the ventilation is much better here with this raised display. Now you can see that when it folds, it gets into that area and gives it a great overall experience. So that's one of the changes with this new Zenbook design, and it looks actually pretty cool. Even though this is a 14.5 inch display and you get a secondary display, it is still 17.6 mm in thickness and weighs just 1.7 kilogram. That's one of the good things about Asus. Even though it feels like a big laptop and bulky laptop, it is not bulky actually. Even though you have a secondary display, it is just 1.7 kilograms in weight. That means it's actually a portable laptop. You won't feel the weight of this laptop even though it's just 1.7 kilograms. Now build quality looks very good actually. The metal magnesium alloy finish looks right, and the hinge mechanism also works very smooth. You can actually open the laptop with just one hand, and you can see that it works really well. So that is the design aspect, and this feels very sturdy in terms of design, and build quality also looks really great. So that's the build quality of this laptop. Now let's talk about the display. Now you have two displays here. This is the primary display. Now both are touch displays because this is a creator's laptop, so these are both touch displays. Now here you get a 14.5 inches OLED display. This is an OLED panel. You can see here OLED mentioned, and this is 2880 by 1800 resolution. That that's 2.8K display. This is the world's first OLED 120Hz refresh rate display on a laptop. Again, this is a maximum brightness of 550 nits. This supports Dolby Vision, 100% DCI-P3 color gamut, Pantone validated display. So it's a really great display out there, especially if you're a creator. You get very good color accuracy. That's one of the important things for creators. Color accuracy is excellent on this laptop. You can actually tune the color accuracy with the ProArt application. We'll talk about that when we talk about software. So the primary display looks excellent actually. It's a touch display, and you can see that it works really well in terms of the touch experience as well. So this is the touch display, and the response time also is very good on the touch display. Now coming to the secondary display. Now here we have a 12.5 inches display. In fact, this is half the size of the primary display, and this is again having great response time. It's 120Hz refresh rate, but it's a 32:10 aspect ratio, and also this is an IPS LCD panel. This is not a OLED panel, but colors you can see here almost similar colors, because this is also DCI-P3 color gamut, 100% DCI-P3, and you have a anti-glare protection here because of the secondary display and the primary display not having any sort of glare issues. So we have a matte finish, and this display has a lot of additional functionalities. You can see here you can switch the displays, then you get the microphone option, the settings. So a lot of actions and functions are there. This is the secondary screen expert 3 software options are there. So you can switch between apps in the primary display. You can see here there are dedicated keys to switch between apps. Say for example, if I'm just opening the file manager here, so I can just tilt the file manager to secondary and primary display. So you can see here it moves to the primary and the secondary display. Similarly, if I'm listening to Spotify, and you can see here I can just move the Spotify here and then rearrange this into a different layout. So that's one good thing about this display. You can see here I can just minimize this to 3 screens. So there you go, you can see here 1 and 2. So you can switch between them, and you can also have control over the display, what all you want on the display. This is very useful because if you're working on the primary display, you can make this into 3 split screens, and you can have different social networking apps, for example media, browser, everything into this, and this won't disturb your work experience. So that's one of the good things. It is executed really well with the software integration. So that's the display aspect. Now both the displays are really good, and you get excellent viewing angles, and if you are watching movies also you get excellent detailing. And the Dolby Vision support also helps in that. It is a really brilliant display out there in terms of experience. So both the displays works really well. So that was the display aspect of this laptop. It's a really great display out there, especially for creators who are looking for excellent color reproduction and true to accurate colors, especially with the DCI-P3 color gamut, and this supports all the aspects, and Dolby Vision helps you in getting great multimedia experience also. So that is the display aspect. Now let's move on to the software. Now this laptop comes with Windows 11 out of the box, and you get a lot of options. One is the Screen Expert software, which we explained. So in terms of software experience, Asus provides this My Asus app. You can actually see the My Asus app here. So this provides you additional options. So you can see here you can customize how you want the display to be, and the battery health, the fan profile, AI noise cancellation. You can see here OLED flicker free experience. Then you get true to life display. A lot of options are there. The refresh rate, you can have different options. Then function key, automatic brightness, everything can be customized using the My Asus app. There are plethora of options available. Now you also get the ProArt application, which we have explained when we reviewed the device last year as well. So this is the dashboard. You can see here you can select the fan profile. You can see here fan load, CPU load, the memory and the storage using the, you can see here color calibration can be done here. Then work smart, this is where you can add your task group, create a task group to launch a particular applications together. Then the control center, you can see that all the options are there. Then performance optimization, resource monitoring, then app power priority. So a lot of things you can do with the ProArt application. It's actually a really pro application for creators to get the better out of your device. So with Asus software, you get a plethora of options, and one of the really good implementations for creators, you can have a lot of tools and options to customize how you want the laptop to perform. So software experience is definitely good with the two major applications. One is the Pro Art application, and then also you get this My Asus app. Now you can actually transfer between the primary screen and the secondary screen. We have already shown that. You also get different apps in the secondary screen as well. So all those things works really well on the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo. Next, let's move on to the keyboard experience. So this is one of the important things, because it has a kind of strange keyboard experience, because you don't get the keyboard at the top section. It is towards the bottom section, and as a result, one important thing to note that the initial the learning curve is slightly tough, because you can see here the laptop has a keyboard which is towards the bottom, and the trackpad is very small. You might be definitely using a mouse if you are a creator, but this trackpad experience is good actually, although it's very small. Especially these keys are pretty good, and you get a full-fledged keyboard here. Even the function keys are there. It's a backlit keyboard, although the keys travel is good, and the typing experience is very good, but still we feel that this is one of the sore points of this laptop, because this definitely needs a bit more time to get accustomed to it. So once you got accustomed to it, it's definitely one of the easier options, but then still for a person who is new to this laptop, this feels like a tough learning experience, but the keyboard overall looks really good. So that was the keyboard experience. Now this has a very good stereo speakers, and you get Harman Kardon tuned speakers. The speaker output is something which is really good, because if you are watching a lot of movies, then this has Dolby Atmos support as well. So speaker experience is definitely good on this laptop. Now next, let's move on to the most important aspect, the performance. Now this laptop is powered by, the one we are reviewing is powered by the Intel 12th Gen Core i9, the 12900H series processors. This is the newest processor. It's a very powerful chip out there, and you get up to 32GB RAM and 1TB PCIe 4.0 Gen 4 SSD. That's again one of the good things. You get LPDDR5 RAM and excellent experience actually. In fact you also get a dedicated graphics card in the form of RTX 3050 Ti. So it's a very powerful laptop out there for creators. So we have done a lot of video editing using this laptop. It's a very strong performer. We did not see any sort of issues. It could render 4K videos without any sort of hiccups. Very smooth experience. Even if you're using heavy tools like photo editing, video editing completely together, you won't still see any sort of hiccups. Performance is stellar on this laptop. So in case you are interested in the benchmark score, here are the benchmark scores for this laptop. Now finally, the battery life. Now this device comes with 76 watt hour battery, and you get a 180 watt adapter. Now the battery life is actually quite okayish, I would say. If you are into heavy task, it is better to connect to the power source, because then only the complete power will be available. But if you are on a traveling, or if you want to do some task, you will get probably around 4 to 5 hours of battery life. That's what we got with mixed usage with around 70 to 75% of the brightness. You can get around 4 to 5 hours. It's not a very high in terms of battery experience, but this is more of a laptop which you will be probably using connected to the power source. But if you're traveling, don't expect a very stellar performance in terms of battery. An average of 4 to 5 hours is what we got. So that's what you can expect from this device. Now being a creator's laptop, you get plenty of ports. On the right side you get two USB Type-C port. These are Thunderbolt supported. Then you have the USB Type A 3.2 port. Then here we get here we don't have any ports. Instead these are vents for the heat vents. Then we have a 3.5mm audio jack. Then at the back you get HDMI port here. So you can see here, this is the HDMI port, and then you get a SD card slot and the charging port. So charging port has been moved to the back, and you also get the HDMI port at the back, and here we have the USB Type-C Thunderbolt ports. So it's well connected in terms of ports and connectivity. So now summing up, how good is the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo UX8402? Now it's a very premium laptop. It is available in different configurations. We have tried the top end variant, which is Core i9 with 32 gigs of RAM, and great experience. So if you are a creator looking for dual displays, now dual displays gives you great productivity with apps arranging in different layouts with the secondary display. We have showed that, so you can arrange into different layouts. So it gives you really productive experience, especially if you are a creator. So if you are a creator into a lot of editing videos, this is a great experience, especially with the performance it offers and the overall experience with the dual displays. Now it has a great performance, then display is excellent with the DCI-P3 color gamut and OLED panel. The build quality is superb. The software experience adds to the experience, and overall it's a really power packed device. Now the cons of the device, probably the keyboard layout takes a longer time to get used to it because it's a slightly cramped keyboard layout. Although you get full functional keys, it's slightly cramped, and the experience is slightly different from the traditional laptop. And the second aspect is the battery life. It's not a very stellar battery performer. Just 4 to 5 hours of battery life is what you can expect. So that is the pros and cons of the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo UX8402. So if you are a creator, this is definitely a great device in terms of performance and solid experience with the dual display. So that's it for this video. This is Normal signing off. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.